Welcome to Students Across America's Farm to Book Storytime. Today, we'll be reading Duck for Turkey Day by Jacqueline Jules and illustrated by Catherine Mitter. My name is Miss Quinn, and today the book that we will be reading is about a Vietnamese American girl who is celebrating Thanksgiving. To get ready for Thanksgiving, Tuit's class sang turkey songs. They made pine cone turkeys. They talked about pilgrims and Native Americans. "See you on Monday," Mrs. Cook said when the bell rang. "Have a great turkey day." Tuit was excited about the Thanksgiving holiday. They would get 3 days off from school. But there was something important she had to talk to Mama about. "Mama," Tuit said as soon as she got home, "we need a turkey for Thanksgiving." "No, we don't," Mama smiled. "We'll buy duck at the market." "But everybody else will have turkey," Tuit said. That afternoon, Benoit arrived from New York. Tuit hugged her grandmother. "We're having duck for Thanksgiving dinner." "I know," Benoit said. "We're using my recipe from Vietnam." "Our family likes duck better," Benoit answered. Back home, Tuit went to her bedroom. She pulled her pinecone turkey out of her backpack. "Mama and Benoit don't know the rules about Thanksgiving," she told the turkey. Tuit counted the money in her wallet. $12. It might be enough to buy a turkey at the market. On Wednesday, Mama drove Tuit and Benoit to the Saigon supermarket. Tuit held her wallet in her hand. Inside the store, she saw all sorts of vegetables. She saw fish, pork, duck, chicken, beef, shrimp, but no turkey anywhere. Tuit watched Benoit talk to the man at the counter. He handed her a package. "This duck will be delicious," Benoit told Tuit. Tuit put her wallet in her pocket. The next morning, good cooking smells filled the house. Tuit peeked into the kitchen. Soon, all kinds of food would be put on the table. But there would be no turkey. Tuit ran to her room and brought back the pinecone turkey she had made in school. "Now there's a turkey on the table," she said to herself. She felt a little better. Her cousins, Kimberly and Min, came over at 3. They played tag outside until the grown-ups were ready to eat. "Did you know we're having duck for Thanksgiving dinner?" Tuit asked her cousins. "Yum," said Kimberly. "I love duck." "With spicy sauce," said Min. Mama called them inside for dinner. Kimberly and Min ran up the steps, but Tuit walked slowly. Was she the only one who knew that Thanksgiving was Turkey Day? "I'd like to give thanks," Daddy said when they sat down at the table, "for our home and our family." "For America," Benoit said, raising her glass. "For all this good food," Min said, picking up his fork. I'm hungry." Everyone laughed and passed their plates to be filled. Tuit had a little bit of everything, but she had seconds of the duck. She loved the spicy sauce and dark meat. When it was time to say goodbye, everybody hugged. "What a great Thanksgiving Day," Kimberly told Tuit. It had been wonderful, Tuit thought, with lots of good food and family fun. But what would Mrs. Cook say about eating duck on Turkey Day? On Monday morning, Mrs. Cook gathered the class on the story rug. "How was your Turkey Day?" she asked. Tyler raised his hand. "My grandpa came. We played football." "That's nice," Mrs. Cook said. "Who else saw grandparents?" Tuit raised her hand along with her other classmates. "Who saw cousins?" Mrs. Cook asked. Tuit raised her hand again. "Who'd like to talk about dinner?" Mrs. Cook looked around the room. Tuit put her hand down. Tears burned in her eyes. "Is something wrong?" Mrs. Cook asked gently. "We didn't have turkey," Tuit blurted out. "We had duck." For a few moments, the class was quiet. Then, Fong raised his hand. "We didn't have turkey either," he said. "We had noodles and chicken." "We had lamb," Tarek said. "We had roast beef," Jonathan said. "We had enchiladas," Carolina said. "We had tofu turkey," Amy said. Mrs. Cook smiled. "It doesn't matter what you eat on Thanksgiving, as long as you have a good time with family and friends." After school, Tuit hurried home. "Mama," she called when she opened the door, "I have a new name for Thanksgiving. In our house, we will call it Duck Day." The end. Well, that was Duck for Turkey Day, and I just really admired Tuit's bravery for sharing her story about not having turkey for Turkey Day or Thanksgiving, but for having something different. And it's really important to share and be proud of your culture and where your food comes from the table, and talking about family and friends. What do you do for Thanksgiving? Do you celebrate Thanksgiving? I do, and it's a great time. Thank you so much for joining me for Farm to Book Storytime. I hope to see you next time.